Racing again in the Eastern Cape on Friday in our normal time slot. Looking forward to 9 races on the card and a feature, the East Cape Breeders' Stakes, and it has pulled a fantastic field. Definitely a race to look forward to. We get underway though at 5 to 12 with the maiden juvenile plate over 1200 metres up the straight on turf. 3, 1 and 5 are my selections. I lead with VV Power. As his form suggests, he is knocking on the door for the win. Just needed his debut, has rounded up in second in both of his next 2 starts. He really is trying hard to nail down that victory. Number 1, Bold Captain, his last run, I think best draw a line through that. It was in Natal, he had to travel. He was actually never even in the running, and his 2 runs prior to that in the Eastern Cape point out that he's capable of a lot better, so expect more from him. Number 5, Light of the Moon, is a filly taking on male opposition. She has to be regarded here, though, making her way down from the Western Cape. Although she didn't blow anyone away on debut, there is room for improvement, and she can find the frame. Race 2 is a maiden juvenile plate over 1400 metres for the fillies, 7, 3 and 6. That means I will kick off with Grayswood Pink, who is a filly by Futura, stepping out for the Candice Bass Robinson yard. And there's a lot to like about her recent form in the Western Cape, where she has run 2nd and 3rd respectively. I do think she's going to be the horse to beat. Number 3, Curly Top, had her first run in the Eastern Cape last time out, running 2nd behind Twice to Heaven. Nothing wrong with that, and I do think she'll be right behind Grayswood Pink. Horse number 6 is Flower Salah. Apprentice Jose Ramzan rides once again, taking off 2.5 kilos. She's coming along the right way, and although well beaten in her most recent starts, she has nonetheless still placed, and she can do so again here. Race 3, a fillies and mares 86 handicap. They'll be sprinting over the minimum trip of 1,000 metres. There are definitely a few speedy individuals here, and 2, 3 and 5 is how I have gone. I will admit that I battle to split the 2 stable companions, Delicacy and Bad Habit, but I have gone with Delicacy. I think draw a line through a penultimate. She bounced right back last time out when taking on much stronger than she normally does, and running a really good 3rd behind La Bella Beer, despite the fact that she was out at the weights as well. She builds on that, she's going to be right there. Bad Habit, horse number 3, ran a cracker on local debut, considering that she raced off a break of just short of 7 months, and taking on male opposition in a merit rated 90, ran a good 4th behind Sullenberger, just needing it late. If the 2nd run after the rest doesn't catch her here, I do think we'll see her making her presence felt. Raider, number 5, Impressive Duchess out of the Cornet Spice yard. Well, they definitely know how to train sprinters, and they definitely know how to travel horses, and the Duke of Marmalade filly is in really good form. She notched up her 4th career win not so long ago when beating similar as what she meets here, and her last 2 runs have seen her hold form well. The yard are happy with how she's travelled, and they're happy with where she is at the moment. They are expecting a competitive run from her. We're back to the maidens in race 4, maiden plate for fillies and mares over the 1200 metre trip. 2, 3 and 9, my first 3 picks here. La Banquer, running out of the Candice Bass Robinson yard, racing off very useful recent Western Cape form, 2nd in both of her latest starts. She's a horse that does catch the eye here. Candice is expecting a decent run from her, and in this type of field her form does stand out. Next up, the likes of number 3, Alloway Grove. I really liked her local debut. It was on Polly, and she ended a good 3rd, doing her best work late behind Shahidi. That was over the minimum trip. So although she hasn't yet shone over 1200, that run does suggest that she might enjoy being back up to it here now in the Eastern Cape, and I do think we'll see more of her. The yard are expecting a good run. Number 9, African Hoopu, placed on debut, was well beaten, but really came on well in her next when going down only half a length behind, time off in 3rd. That occasion she held her own as a 2-year-old against older, which she is again here. At least she's proven she can do it, and she should be in the mix. Race 5 is another maiden plate, but we are up to the mile trip here. It's another one for the fillies and mares. 1, 2 and 4 are my first selections. Tenacity is a master of my fate filly out of the Candice Bass Robinson yard, and although she has been pretty well beaten in her recent starts, you can't take away that she has still found the placings, and she can get a whole lot closer here in maiden company in the Eastern Cape. Cape form holds up well here, but especially so in the maidens, and as such Tenacity deserves a lot of respect. Number 2, Diamonds and Toads. I think she could be a very worthy adversary here. And third on local debut, she just needed the run from an acclimatization point of view, and next time out she really made up ground in leaps and bounds over 1400 and ran third behind Respectable Miss. Do take note, she was severely balked for a number of strides, in fact a good distance, 200 meters, and I think that would definitely be something that you have to take into account here. So up to the mile, an extra furlong, luck in the running. I think she could make Tenacity run. She's not out of this. Horse number 4, Pearl Dancer, is another who had no luck in the running on Tuesday. She still managed to run fourth despite the fact that she had a very bumpy passage around the turn. And according to trainer Jacques Stradom, she was really badly interfered with. He was quite impressed. She still ran fourth, is expecting another good run here, and she can also hit the board. Race 6 is the Fillies and Mares 64 handicap up to the 2,000 meter trip here. 1, 2 and 9 are the horses I will be watching. Number 1, La Bastide. There's a lot to like about her chances here. She's in really good form. Her last 3 runs have seen her win on 2 occasions and place in the other. She has the claim of Carl Stradom to help her, and she's drawn neatly. She also does enjoy this type of trip, and her penultimate run over course and distance was a really useful second, half a length off. Perhaps the only question she has to ask is, can she cope with the recent merit rating raise that she has received? She's up quite a decent amount of points here, and that could cost her. Nonetheless, you can't overlook her in strong form. Number 2, Sacred Ibis, was caught a bit too far back in the running last time out. She made up a significant amount of ground to run 5th behind Petronella, which is a form line where she did bump La Bastide. As far as the weights are concerned today, there's really not much between them, and as a result you have to respect number 2, Sacred Ibis. Horse number 9 is Legend Has It, and this one will be representing trainer Glenn Cotson. There's no form update for her. Last time out she was a reserve runner and didn't run. Other than that, she races off very useful recent KZN form, of which her last run was actually against Stronger. Glenn is happy with where she is and does expect her to give a good account of herself. Race 7 is our listed feature, the East Cape Paddock Stakes, and not only is it a full field, it is packed with ability, and I really think it is a stellar lineup. It would fit in anywhere. We have the average merit rated field of 90 here, so we have some decent individuals. Have battled to narrow it down. I have gone with number 4, Santa Teresa, to beat number 1, Carioca, and then number 15, Mama Lisa. Now, Santa Teresa is a local runner. She's going to have to pick her feet up. She's going to have to take on the Raiders here, but she did beat them in her penultimate when lifting the listed title of the Breeders' Guineas, and on that occasion she beat Musical Glitch quite comfortably over course and distance that she races over today. In total, she's run 7 times for 5 wins, so definitely no question about her ability. Not to at all dismiss the rest of the field. She's still going to have to put her best foot forward, but I do think she's got winning potential. Another horse in cracking form is number 1, Carioca. She's held form since the day she made her way to the Eastern Cape, but in her recent runs, she's really stepped it up a level. And in her penultimate, she beat a fair field of male opposition in the non-black type Fairview 1400 to win, and followed that up with a listed win in the East Cape Breeders' Stakes last time out when beating Forest Field over 1200. She's shown a good versatility for distances, and although she hasn't run over the mile for a while, she has won over it previously, and in current form very well in at the weights. In fact, she is the best weighted individual in the lineup. I think she's going to be a decent runner again here. As far as that third placing is concerned, number 15, Mama Lisa, is definitely a horse that catches the eye. The Duke of Marmalade filly is a 3-year-old taking on some talented older opposition here, but she's in the right form to do so, and her win in a conditions plate in her penultimate over 1500 back in the Western Cape saw her beat a decent field that day, coming away by a length and a quarter margin to win. Need a bit of luck in the running from that draw of 12, but I do think that we'll see Mama Lisa in the fray. Moving on to race 8, and this is a merit rated 86 handicap over the mile trip, 3, 6 and 1. Bling King is in great form locally. He's run here 3 times. He has found the winner's box 3 times. He has struck from 1300 up to the mile, and he has held form on both poly and grass. He really looks to be progressive. There's more to come from him, and he's tried blinkers in his latest starts, but have just further enhanced him, and I do think he's going to be the horse to beat here. Number 6, Storm Commander, you've got a feel for him. He's had 3 runs in the Eastern Cape and he's finished second in all 3 of them, and very competitive seconds. He's been right behind them. I do think that he just needs a little bit of luck, and he's going to be right there again. Number 1, Oscar Wilde, was an impressive winner last time out when doing his best work late to beat Atkinson Grimshaw in a merit-rated 80 event. Here he will step up to the mile. The way that he rounds his races off, it should suit. They aren't expecting another good effort, so factor this one in. Race 9 is the last of the afternoon. Fillies and Mares 68 handicap over the 1400 meter trip. These type of races are always very tricky, and there are a couple to take into consideration here. I am going with the horse to show good improvement in the way of number 2, In Limbo, to take victory, beating number 5, Emmeline, new to the Eastern Cape, and then including number 1, Alaskan Fate, the top weight. Number 2, In Limbo, last time out, just needed the run. She moved up so well to a point. In fact, she actually looked to have the race all sewn up, but she ended up stopping quite badly. The yard do feel, though, it was just a case of her having needed the run, and they are expecting good improvement here. So she could be a little bit of a surprise package in the 9th. Number 5, Emmeline, may have dropped the ball in her last, but her prior form in the Highveld was spot on, and I do think with the yard here also expecting her to be knocking, don't be leaving her out. Number 1, Alaskan Fate, she is always there and thereabouts. As mentioned, she came in with carded top weight. It has been brought down by the apprentice claim of Uze Ramzan, taking 2.5 kilos off. She is well suited to this type of trip, always trying her best, finishing off well, and not a horse to leave out of trifectas and quartets. Get ready for the PA to get underway in race 3 at 5 to 1 with the Fillies and Mares 86 handicap over 1,000 meters. And here I have gone in with 3 horses. Number 2, Delicacy, and her stable companion, number 3, Bad Habit. I do make them hard to split. They're definitely horses that I think should both be included, as well as the Cornet Speech Runner, number 5, Impressive Duchess. On to race 4, 2 numbers for the PA here, and they will be number 2, La Banquer, and number 3, Alloway Grove, expecting good runs from both of them. A banker for the PA in race 5, taking my chances of number 1, Tenacity, in what looks to be an open maiden field. I think that Western Cape form can prevail here, and Tenacity will be a banker for me. The PA gets 3 selections in race 6, which is leg 4, 1, 2, and 9. La Bastide, definitely the form horse, got to cope with the recent merit rating raise, but definitely deserves respect on recent form. Number 2, Sacred Ibis, is coming along the right way. She should be thereabouts. And number 9, Legend Has It, races off very useful recent KZN form and certainly must be included. In race 7, absolutely awesome listed East Cape Paddock Stakes lineup. 1, 4, and 15 are my numbers for the PA. Stable companions Carioca and Santa Teresa, as well as number 15 Marmalisa. Race 8, and another banker for the PA, that will be number 3 Bling King. Cannot argue with the type of form he's running off at the moment, and with the yard expecting another good run, he should be the horse to beat. Last of the afternoon, definitely a more open affair, and I have chosen to go with 4 horses in the PA here. If you're in it at this stage, you want to stay there. And number 1, Alaskan Fate, number 2, In Limbo, number 5, Emmeline, and then on to the likes of number 11, Purple and Gold, will all be included. With 9 races on the card, we go back to race 4 to get our pick 6 started. As you will recall, numbers 2, La Banquer, and number 3, Alloway Grove are my PA selections. Added to them will be the likes of number 4, Just Judy, and then numbers 9, African Hoopu, and number 11, Derecho, also are included. Moving to race 5, definitely taking a chance for the pick 6 here. Not always a fan of bankering in maiden races, but I have elected to give Tenacity a shot here, and Tenacity will be one of my pick 6 bankers. Race 6, PA numbers here, 1, 2, and 9. And in addition, horses 4, a respectable miss, having her first run out of the maidens, but considering that she won well over a distance short of her best, could be more to look forward to from her, have included her. Number 10, World Squared, would have needed her last, and on course and distance form could be a bit of a surprise. And number 11, Clover Club, coming to hand again, could be worth including. The East Coast Paddock Stakes and 1, 4, and 15, definitely big runners for me. I do add to them. I think there are a couple with chances here. If your budget allows it, you could perhaps put in a few that I have left out. But I think that over and above, number 2, Sovereign Secret, 3, All of Me, as well as numbers 6, Rattle Mouse, and 7, Water Spirit, are horses that should go in. Next up, race 8, and I stick with the banker of Bling King for my pick 6. His form is self-explanatory. There's really not too much that you can add to it, and he should be right there again. Race 9, always an open event. As you'll recall, the PA had 4 numbers, 1, 2, 5, and 11, and I will give the additions of number 3, Duchess of State, as well as number 6, Leading Fast. The yard are expecting her to need the run, but she's got such nice form. I'm just a little bit wary of leaving her out. And lastly, the likes of number 14, and that is Viva Peepa. She ran a good race on Tuesday on the Poly, which isn't her favoured surface, so back on turf she could have surprise potential. That will be the pick 6. As far as the jackpot is concerned, it runs along similar lines to the pick 6, except for the initial leg. You will recall that here I bankered Tenacity, and I'm going to back her up here with the likes of numbers 2, Diamonds and Toads, who I do think has got a lot of potential on that last run to upstage her. Then number 3, Queen Louise and Pearl Dancer go in as well. As far as the following legs of the pick 6 are concerned, the jackpot goes along the same lines and sticks with the banker in the final leg of Bling King. That brings me to best and value bets, and Bling King will be my best bet on the card. That's horse number 3 in race 8. Form is really standout at the moment, and as such, so is he. The last of the day is where I look for my value, and I'm looking for improvement in the way of number 2 in Limbo. The yard do feel she was only caught out by needing the run last time out. They are expecting good improvement from her, and in a very open affair, she does look the value. Once again, looking forward to racing on Friday, hoping for a little bit better weather than we got on Tuesday, but no matter what the case, we will look forward to a good day's racing.